Hello, we are the Keenans. Welcome to our channel, The Keenans Make. I'm Chris.
And I'm Caitlin. For the year 2023, we decided to try at least 2 new recipes a week and record at least one of them for you all.
We hope to have a new video each week.
We hope that you'll enjoy this video and hope that you'll enjoy enough to want to see more videos by us. And if you want to help us out, you could like and share some people you know that might like this kind of content.
Welcome back to Keenans Make. Today we make
Climb to the top meat Sundaes.
This is something you chose, wasn't it?
Yeah,
When are we going to get to make something I choose?
when pigs fly.
When pigs fly? Okay, let me
So
find
very
a flying pig. What are we going to do here first? You remember?
no.
Okay, we're doing another thing in the Instapot today. So set it on Sauté. All right, here we go. What's in the green bottle? You remember?
Olive oil?
Olive oil. Yep. We're gonna add olive oil to the pot, just to make sure the meat don't stick. 2 tablespoons, just enough to make sure your meat doesn't stick. All right. So what are we doing here?
We're adding a pound of lean beef. So this is a pound of lean beef stew meat, but you add half of it to the pressure cooker first. The Instapot, whatever we're using.
Yeah, this is a Ninja Foodie, but you can use an Instapot as well. Putting in half of the meat, like she said. And all we're going to do is brown the outside of it.
And what book did we use this time?
We'll show them at the end when we're thing, but it's a Betty Crocker Junior Shelf or something like that. Yeah. All right. And what do we do to the meat to make sure it doesn't stick and browns all sides?
We stir it.
We stir it. Yeah. You're not being very talkative today.
I'm tired.
You're not tired.
I had a lot of work yesterday.
Anyway, so yeah, as she said, we just stir it up. Basically, you're just going to look to brown it on all sides. It doesn't have to be like thoroughly cooked by any stretch. She adjusts the pot out of my perfectly set up frame. Oh well. So what made you choose this one? Was it the picture in the book?
Yeah.
It looked good?
Yeah, and I like mashed potatoes, and it just...
Yeah,
the way it was scooped reminded me of the ice cream, so...
Yeah, speaking of the mashed potatoes, this recipe does call for mashed potatoes. You can buy, the instant made, store-bought, pre-made stuff, or, if you have a favorite recipe, you can make your own. They're not terribly hard.
We just microwaved ours.
Well, yeah, we microwaved it to eat it now. Yeah, that's because we brought the pre-packaged stuff from the grocery store. Pre-made, I should say.
There I am smelling it, because it smelled really good for some reason.
Yeah, for some reason. And there we are using our Rachel Ray spoon again. Just continuing to stir it.
And apparently, it browning is when it turns white.
Yes.
So
Do you consider that white?
Yes.
All right. Well, here we
are.
are.
I know it looks brown in this, but it was white.
Yeah. So you take out your first batch and just put it on a plate. Here we are, a couple more pieces. And it's done. And what do we add now? No, don't look at your sheet. Look at the screen up here. because it's going to be the rest of the meat.
Oh.
They get hopped in. They get put into the pool to cook next.
He kept telling me to hurry up, but he has to understand the fact that I need to separate them. Eventually, I just started throwing big pieces in there and let him deal with it because of how much he was rushing me.
I was not rushing you. I was just trying to get the recipe done quickly.
So, yeah, he was rushing me.
Okay.
That's what that's called. I was trying to get it done quickly. That's what it's called.
All right. So there's the second half added.
Did you skip this part?
And
Okay.
now we're at the part they're all browned.
We added the other half back in there, so that's all the meat.
Yep, that's all of our meat in the same pot. And what is this?
2 cups of reduced sodium beef broth.
Yep.
Or 1 and 14.5 liquid ounces.
1 14.5 can.
You didn't say.
All right. And how much of this?
1 teaspoon of bottled minced garlic and 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper.
Right. So put that in there. And that's all of the seasoning. So this is a very simple recipe. So for kids or even adults that don't like a lot of over the top seasoning, this is for you. And what do we do?
I mixed it up a little bit.
Yeah, we mix it up.
The thing is glitching a lot.
Well, what's the big part of it? See, stir, stir, stir.
I think both of them are glitching.
Oh. And what are we going to do after we stir it?
We're going to cook it on high for 12 minutes, but
What are we going to do before that, though? What's that thing right there? We call it
pressure.
We call it a lid. I call it a lid. You can call it whatever you want to.
It's a pressure lid, as you can see right there.
Yeah, you put the pressure cooker lid on our Ninja Foodie or your Instapot or whatever pressure cooker you may be using.
The recipe said to...
Well, what are we doing first?
We pressure cooked it on high for 12 minutes.
Right.
But the recipe said to pressure cook it on medium for an hour.
No.
No.
The original recipe called for you to use like just a regular pot, and instead of cooking it for, a little bit, you cook it for an hour until it's fork tender.
Yes, and since ours cooks faster and is not a normal pot, we pressure cooked it on high and for 12 minutes.
Yeah,
but it still worked the same.
So here we are. We're coming back.
And our dog has made a reappearance.
We're coming back. And as she said, we cooked it for 12 minutes on high and then let it naturally release pressure for 5 minutes. So a total 17 minutes. And then we are going to, what are we doing? You remember? The thing that you don't particularly like to do, so you make me do it?
Yeah, I made him do it this time. I just didn't do it.
Releasing the pressure.
You said we were going to do that already.
So here we are. The pressure's been released. And in the original directions, it says to shred the beef. So here's a little trick that we're going to show you about shredding beef. So what do we do first? Take the beef.
We take the beef from the liquid and shred it.
Yep.
We use the KitchenAid mixer for it, though.
Ah, you spoiled the surprise.
The one you bake with.
You spoiled the surprise.
I know.
So here we are. I think it's all out now. Come on. And here we are. We're putting it into our KitchenAid mixer. And you just put the regular paddle blade on it. Took me a second to get it on there, but we finally got it. And remember which speed or setting we put it on?
The first one.
Yeah, low or stir, whatever it's called on yours. Might be 2, I think. But anyway, first little notch just to get it rotating. And there it goes. And if you don't have a mixer, that's fine. You can take and just use 2 forks. And the 2 forks can shred it up.
Yeah, but we wanted to speed it up, so we decided to use a mixer.
Here we go. Remember what we do after this?
Not really.
Okay, well, while she was retrieving a measuring cup, so here it is, the beef shredding a little bit more. And as you can see, it is coming apart.
Very slowly.
Yeah. So now we're going to get our ladle, in which case, I don't blame her, it would be hard to get out. So what do you do here at this point? No, don't look at that. Look. Who gets the actual juice out of the pot?
You?
Me? Yeah, Caitlin, and rightfully so, because it was warm and it would take forever to scoop it out like this. So she gives the spoon to me to get out. And here we go. We're switching places now. Have my mitt.
That he lost.
I lost it later.
It was right behind the sink.
So here we go. We're scooping out and saving 1 cup of the liquid from where we cooked the meat. All right.
You can discard the remaining liquid that you have
Right.
because you
So
don't need it. We're keeping a cup of it to make like a gravy type thing,
right.
which we're gonna mix in with the chicken later.
All right. So what are you getting out now?
2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour.
And you're putting it into what?
1/4 cup of cold water.
Cold water.
Technically, I wasn't really like supposed to add those together, but it wasn't gonna make a difference anyway.
Yeah, this is where you combine them.
Yeah, but
It's
I was supposed to put that in the broth and then add the water to it, but
and so yeah, we're turning the thing back on the Sauté so that we can. Uh, yeah, here I am offering her a fork. Yeah, you took the fork.
and I mixed the water and the flour in.
Yeah, mix
together.
it to combine. Pardon me. So combine the water and the flour together. And then they're all going to go into the same pot. So you can either add them to the pot or to the measuring cup here like she's doing. Okay. And what do you do? We then take the liquid, the beginning of our gravy, and we put it into the Instapot, or Ninja Foodie in this case. Caitlin, what are we going to do with this?
Stir it.
Stir it with a big red spoon.
And the sauté's on high.
Yeah, and the sauté's on high. So in our case, since we're using the high on sauté, it won't take very long to for this to thicken. So just stir it and keep an eye on it. As you can see here, ours is thickened up now. You can go ahead and at this point turn the pot off, or take your pot off of the stove.
I would recommend turning it off though because it's hard to move.
Well, in the pressure cooker situation, yes, it is hard to move. But if you're doing this in the pot, which I'll post the original directions along with the directions that we did, um, so that if you don't have an Instapot or Ninja Foodie or pressure cooker, you can cook it the old-fashioned way. And what gets added to this gravy, you remember, once it's done? I think it's coming in.
The shredded beef.
The shredded beef, yeah. Here we
That
come.
was in the mixer.
All of the boys get added to the pool. All of the party attendees are coming in now.
You guys have been making jokes about that. Did you see Mommy's message that she sent me? She said, "Get all the boys out the door before Daddy comes home and gets mad at him."
She didn't say get mad at them. She said kills them.
That's worse.
Yeah, if you get boys over here when we aren't home, I'll start with them and then highly consider you. Anyway,
Keyword.
all joking
Consider.
aside. So, what are you doing here?
I'm mixing it.
Mixing it up, yep. So, and then,
Wow, our dog has a lot of appearances in this.
he runs around the house. Alrighty. So after this, what's the next step is to take and assemble things.
So we have the mashed potatoes that we microwaved and after we bought from the store.
Yep, our store.
And
Here we go.
you take an ice cream scoop. You can choose the size because you can choose your size ice cream scoop.
Yeah.
And you stack 2 of the scoops onto each other. I flattened mine so it would stay a little bit better. But
we can do more than 2 scoops as well.
Yeah, but we decided to do 2 scoops.
The directions say that this is supposed to serve 4 people.
I think it serves a lot more, but
I guess if you have 4 hungry people, maybe that.
yeah. We were hungry, but we still had stuff left. We had tacos for dinner, so.
Yeah, we used the remaining meat as a basis for tacos. Come on. So she's got the 2 scoops, and what's next?
You put the meat on top of it.
Yep, the meat on top of it, and
then you can add cheese on top of it if you want. I recommend putting on cheese because it helps with the flavor.
yeah.
And then you can also add.
And this doesn't have to be perfect. And also, since this is just for us, if this was for other people, I wouldn't let her use her fingers like that.
Yeah. So here I topped it with the meat. It's very messy, but oh well.
And in comes the
cheese.
I don't know. Here I am trying to be Martin Scorsese and get the perfect shot. But
Daddy, you do know that most of the people probably don't know who that is.
Hopefully they do.
I don't.
If not, look it up. Martin Scorsese.
I don't know who that is.
One of the best actors. All right.
And then you can also add onions and a cherry tomato.
Yep. All right, we're going to turn it over for the review now. So thank you, and join us again next week. This is our climb to the top.
Bye.
Mashed potatoes and beef stew concoction. What, you remember which cookbook it came from?
The Junior Cookbook.
From Better Homes and Gardens. Do you know where our Better Homes and Gardens cookbook is, Mommy? The one that every married couple gets as a wedding present?
Maybe.
From their mom, maybe. Anyway, we got one. She has the junior one. All right.
It says new, but I think it's really old.
I mean, it's not old. I don't think a kid from the 70s would eat a mountain. Well, anyway, go ahead.
You gonna try it with me?
All right, they're going to try it together, peoples.
Look at those sweet mashed potatoes and that. That's good.
So one good.
Okay.
You like it too? All right. So even though we didn't follow the directions precisely, it turned out okay? Even though it doesn't look like the picture in the book?
Few alterations.
Yeah, in the picture on the book, the meat looking stuff is like gravy.
Gravy, yeah.
And it's like every single piece is like drooping down off of it.
Well, I think you used an Instapot to cook the meat faster. And that makes the meat more tender and it sucked up the juice more.
Yeah, because if we did, it told us we were supposed, in a different thing, we're supposed to cook it for like an hour on low pressure. So we just did like 20-ish minutes on high pressure.
Okay.
Because ours cooks faster. And we didn't want to wait that long.
All right. Here, you can record me doing this recording. So. All right.
What do you think, Daddy?
Is it good?
Yep, it's good.
And you can see my mom over here adding more because of how much she likes it.
It was very good.
Just piling everything together. And the cheese that I left when I was sprinkling it.
All right.
Would we try this again? Will we
so.
make this again?
Yes.
Yes. Why are you just recording randomly? No faces, no nothing. Yes, I think we could. You don't have to get that close up. Yes, definitely would eat it again or fix it again. Maybe not be as elaborate, but yes.
Yeah, I think I think we would make it again. Except find a way to make the meat a tiny bit less dry because it is a little bit dry when you eat after you eat the mashed potatoes, but other than that it's good.